ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the After Party Hangover. This is a show that talks about a show that talks about a show. I am your host, Mangria Fueled, and this week I wanted to do a SRAP, a Steel Real After Party retrospective. Um, I should have done this sooner, but like when you binge shows on Netflix or whatever, you don't want them to end, and episode 143 technically was the end of the Steel Real After Party. For now, I'm not sure when it's coming back, but it was a privilege and an honor to be a part of episode 144, the final episode of the Steel Real After Party, co-hosted with Jake. Not sure when or if it's coming back, but I'm going to do what the show originally is for. It is a Steel Real After Party, the after show, basically the after party hangover. So I'm going all the way back to episode 135, Soft Dangle. And these are the notes that I took. If my dick had a voice, it'd be Sam Elliott. They were really big into Sam Elliott during this episode. But when it's soft, the voice is Pee Wee Herman, which I thought was pretty funny. His dick dar starts going off, dude, and he's all like, "Oh, she getting the dick." That's a quote from Ric Flair. It's on TMZ. Look it up. This is the first hashtag free Mangria mention. Was episode 135, Soft Angle. They were laughing at my situation, but if I can bring content to the show no matter what, I'm dedicated enough. I'm just glad that they didn't forget me. He might be having his own Royal Crumble right now, they joked, because I was locked up, as you guys know. Regarding Goldberg re-entering the title picture in WWE, they'd rather get circumcised again. So, of course, they're against Goldberg getting the championship. But the LOL line of the episode was the Ric Flair, "Ah, she's getting the dick." Episode 136 was Gentleman's Relish, was the title. They said that Denny's is like IHOP if it was drunk. That was Jake's line. The Crummies winners, the Hurt Business. Goldberg won the But Why award. Do you think he bangs his head on the wall before he bangs his wife? Blasts her away with his Gentleman's Relish. That's the origin of the episode title. Jake, it was Jake on Goldberg fucking his wife. Tozawa and Ninjas win Jobber of the Year. Bailey wins the Most Improved of the Year. All hail Pam. The Boner Yard match wins Match of the Year. Drew wins Male Wrestler of the Year, Drew McIntyre. Brody Lee wins Debut of the Year, rest in peace. Keith Lee, NXT Male Superstar of the Year. Of course, Keith Lee is known as Slow Lee on the SRAP. Io Shirai's NXT Female Superstar of the Year. I agree with that 1,000,000,000%. They said that Jon Moxley was AEW Star of the Year. And Slow Keith Lee is SRAP Wrestler of the Year. Mandy Rose is the Crumb-tastic Woman of the Year. Completely understandable. And shockingly, Matt Taven won the Matt Taven Award of the Year. They both hate scorpions, spiders, snakes, and fat chicks. My dick's like Chuck Norris. I murdered him. Zanka fucks Sam. Love the saving Mangria scenario that was portrayed in this episode. Episode 137 was called Pixelated Pork Roll. Jake, Host of the Year intro. They talk about time travel and sperm. and your old sperm are Asian, folks. Zanka's dark dojo origin. There's so much real estate from where the toilet paper is to that guy's crack. Zanka on Mimosa, or almost. Zanka's mom said he looked like E.T. when he was born. Zanka prefers the low-end strip clubs. He looks like a burnt turtle. Zanka talking about Ric Flair. That was the LOL line of the episode. He'd bang Ric Flair just for the story. Jake starts the no dairy, no grain diet on this episode. Facebook Sean is a Hall of Famer. Cynic and Vegemite Hall of Fame as well. Then we go to the Matthew JH episode 138. It's called Taco Tunnel. The JH is the intro, respectively. Jake is losing weight because of his no cheese diet. First mention of WWE moving to Peacock during this episode. Zanka was trying to recall Richard Dawson, host of Family Feud. He couldn't think of his name. Zanka watched The Founder, which is on Netflix. It's about the McDonald's thing. He liked it. Speed bumps. I'm not sure why that's in there, but I wrote speed bumps. R-Truth is the Tom Brady of WWE. This is when they referred to Keith Lee as Tummy Lee. You don't want a hard Mangria. This is Jake hoping Mangria is hard so I don't get butt fucked to death. Zanka on a throat chop fest. My lawyer, Night Stalker. Oh, this is who he would throat chop. My lawyer, the Night Stalker from Netflix, Luigi, the pasty creator, the person who created pasties for nipples, because Zanka wants to see the nipples. Facebook Sean with the best Hall of Fame acceptance speech ever. Cynic's Hall of Fame speech was very nice. It was about me. Mad respect to Cynic Chaos. Of course, everybody hates him. That's the gimmick on the show, but I really appreciate all the kind words he said about me. Zanka says that Tummy Lee, when predicting the Rumble winner, he was way off, but very optimistic. Episode 139, A Moment of Kayla. Both guys have met Tony Atlas. Zanka wanted me to be free. Then he'll have his mom on the pod so we can all ask questions, which would be fucking hilarious if Zanka got his own mom on SRAP. They measure the quality of fast food by the smell it leaves in your car. They are big fans of Five Guys. That's a very good burger. My Aunt Donna hates their fries, by the way. Porn star or indie wrestler Chop Shop. Butt Commander Marcus Dupree. They say Ceizar is going to end up in jail with me because of his hashtags. Bretsky going to end up with us because he too normal. Bretsky is Data from Star Trek. Jake called Edge turning heel and Brian went in the chamber. That was, Jake, he's right every now and then. The top 3 Disney princesses. I've had this thing in my head that I've always wanted to fuck Little Mermaid until I realized her pussy would smell like tuna fish. That's the LOL line of the episode. You can't use any of her already pre-drilled holes. Like, you gotta go out her belly. Jake in a magic school bus inside his mom. That's another LOL line. Ceizar's pickup line. Hey, what that mouth do? Wow, the Cynic hate jumped a couple notches while I was gone. The Lars funeral was very sad because he got released. It's Black History Month. They got one. Episode 140, Ric Flair's final sperm. His final sperm already has a license and a mortgage. Lacey Evans is Prego, her story angle. Zanka loves The Wolf of Wall Street. I agree. That's a very good movie. Zanka got through The Irishman and Wolf of Wall Street. Wow, those are very long movies. I'm not sure how he did it with his attention span. Your Highness is Zanka's favorite movie. Your Highness, I hated that movie. It is So dumb, but I mean, I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe I'll like it more now. I didn't like that movie. I saw it in the theater, regretted it. They mourn over Rusev's career. They talk NXT. When Zenka gets in hot water, he's gonna come out as trans Zenka. Is Morrison white Kofi or is Kofi black Morrison? Good question. Goldberg looks like an in-shape mechanic. LA County called and they said, "What if it's Mangria calling?" It was on the caller ID. It said LA County, and they thought it was me calling them. Zenka watched Snowden. Zenka actually plays Fortnite. Zenka heard people communicate through the toilets in prison. Actually, it's through the vents, fellas. I was in there. They climb up on the bed and there's a vent, and they go, "Hey!" They speak Spanish stuff because everyone in there's Mexican. You know, they're like, "Hey, ¿qué quieres?" And all kinds of shit, and they talk to each other. Speaking from experience, folks. Every part of you is a boob. Zenka talking about Jake. Facebook Sean stories are getting better and better. A look into the sticky floors of Jake's mind. The episode ends with Jake enjoying a fish stick out of Dakota Kai's bootio. The still real after party. The Plan B omelet of podcasts. Episode 141, Alopecia Mills. They open the show talking about death. Jake is having a heart attack for sure. Zanka goes out a hero saving orphans. They're scared of someone at their work who will shoot up the place. I don't know who that is. We'll have to have them elaborate on that later. Funny facts. Funny over facts is the new SRAP motto. Zanka refers to Retribution as the Foot Clan. Shout out to the Ninja Turtles. They cover food on the SRAP pod checklist. Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster. I'm into anything that explodes in my mouth randomly, Zanka says. Zanka correctly predicts that Braun and Shane will have a Mania match, but he wanted it to take place in Raw Underground. The phone rings, of course. It's Hillary probably bothering them again. Zanka talks about Jake lying to women. This leads into a dick-themed water park with cum water slides. A new theme song for Chop Chop. It's a porn star or indie wrestler name. Jake reads LeVar Facebook Sean Burton story with a new intro theme. A look into Zanka's mind this time. It's involved a greased up deaf guy from Family Guy and telling Zanka to breathe at the perfect time. Alopecia meals are your food with no pubes, by the way. That's the name of the episode. Dude, Batista is the gayest straight dude was one of the LOL lines of the episode. The guy's favorite feud of Bobby Lashley's was Sami Zayn and his sisters. I think this was due to Jake's lack of knowledge of Bobby Lashley's feuds. He had a good one with Cena at the Great American Bash, so that was a pretty good one. Jake kisses his guy friends on the cheek. Zanka grabs dicks and thumbs butt over the jeans. Oh, say uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Listen to the episode. You know what I'm talking about. TGB99 _ APPW officials Instagram question for Jake, making him say he's a loser who sucks in and out of the ring and rigs Instagram polls and is a general bitch. It's such good shit, Pop. Jake wants to torture Ryan Cabrera, and Zanka wants to torture the old customers at Walgreens. An old man tried to introduce Jake and company to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, at a Cracker Barrel, and Jake was trying not to laugh. Just give it a shot, Jake. Come on. Can your life get any worse? Zanka's dad threatened to fuck a Jehovah's Witness with a crucifix for trying to spread the good news. Massive news from the micropeened one. Jake got laid. Wow, I'm surprised that didn't make CNN and Fox News. Jake finally gets his dick wet. Episode 142, Crumb Goblins. Zanka got rear-ended by a tranny, apparently. Well, apparently you are as confused about your sexuality as you are which side the fucking brake is on. Never hit Zenka, he'll kill you. Happy 316 day. I almost opened up a can of whoop ass on a thing today, he says. Zanka is in Facebook jail, possibly from the AEW marks reporting him for his memes. Zanka says Morrison looks like your cool aunt who would buy you a beer or a lesbian PE teacher because he's rocking the mullet now. Zanka saw an old chick naked shower at an old folks' home, putting them on the glass. I didn't need to see old janitor penis in the morning, is Jake's line of the episode. Zanka thinks dicks are always funny. This brings the conversation back to Deaf Barb Lars doing gay porn. Seamus gets his powers when it's near St. Patrick's Day. It's morphin time from him. Zanka likes how Mandy, Dana, and Billy Kay all have one good move. Family Matters is like the Cosby Show without the rape. Jake says Kimmy Gibbler is the Jar Jar Binks of Full House. Zanka does not know who Jar Jar is and confused about the Darths from Star Wars. Jake drops some general Grievous knowledge and Ewoks, but he doesn't even like Star Wars, to which Zanka replies, you just dropped some Jeff Franklin with those 4 fucking things. I don't know why that made me laugh so much, but I was laughing a lot when I heard that. When you're banging a chick and your buddy's in the other room, your buddy will make the Chewbacca sound if she has a hairy beef. The guys love Austin Powers, and Goldmember is their favorite. Mine as well. It's funny because I worked at Taco Bell during this time, and they all made us wear Goldmember shirts. But I'm a massive fan of Austin Powers and his corny ass jokes. And Goldmember is my favorite. They did keep getting better and better. I loved it. It's a white people thing, Ceizar. Anyway, we getting a whole lot of Keanu Reeves in the future, by the way. Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 are coming out the same month. That's just movie and entertainment news. Zanka has seen Nazi Kevin James in a movie. I don't like Kevin James either. Jake wants Zanka to watch Donnie Darko. It has Patrick Swayze in it. I saw it when it first came out, and it was confusing. I didn't really care. I never went back to see it. Wolf of Wall Street is awesome. It's a very long movie, but it's worth it. Jonah Hill's performance alone, and you get to see Margot Robbie's tits. She's Harley Quinn. It's pretty good. Jake and Zanka are fans of Matthew McConaughey. Tropic Thunder rules, by the way. Best part is my personal favorite part of Tropic Thunder was at the beginning of the movie when they had the fake movie previews, because it had Robert Downey Jr. and Tobey Maguire. They were like the gay priests or something. It was pretty fucking funny. But they are not fans of Bad Bunny getting hit with a guitar. It did not break. Mae Young was taking power bombs and Mark Henry dicks, and Bad Bunny got a weak ass gimmick guitar shot from The Miz. Oh, Bill Burr is the man. I mean, me and my wife, we both love Bill Burr. So him getting canceled is never going to happen because Bill Burr, he's too smart for that shit. And he has too many fans. Just like Adam Carolla is never going to get canceled. But Bill Burr will never get canceled. Zanka fell out of his seat laughing at the Broken Lizard Super Troopers live. They're pretty funny. I like Tacoma FD. That's where I got that son of a bitch line from. Jake likes Bo Burnham. I haven't seen him yet. I'll give him a chance though. He's popular on Netflix, I guess. Ralphie May died of blood pressure and heart disease in 2017. Zanka regrets not telling the tranny who hit him to acknowledge him as his tribal chief. Jake prefers dick sounds than seeing dicks. Facebook Sean with his longest story of all time. By the way, Zanka has chick feet. The story is how Jake and Zanka met at a Tony Atlas autograph session, started the podcast, fell in love, and got married. Then they did Fastlane predictions. Zanka calls Shayna and Naya heffalumps, which is pretty fucking funny because I used to call a fat chick who used to work at, we had a place here called Hollywood Video, It's kind of like it's like the Coke to Pepsi from Blockbuster. It's Hollywood Video. She was a fat chick. I used to call her Huffalump. It's pretty funny. Don't confuse me right now because I'm retarded. Zanka, while they discussed a possible tie during predictions. Bretsky is the three faces of Foley when it comes to Instagram questions. Jake thinks that Nick Cage versus Orange Cassidy would be the funniest thing ever. Zanka puts Cosby in the women's division. Zanka wants pee hole goblins crumb. And then discussing this is Andy's question, by the way. He gave multiple options, and I guess one of Andy's options to choose from was if you could have any superpower you want, but you had to drink a snack pack size of horse cum every day to recharge your powers or you'll die. That was one of the choices. To which Zanka asked, what if horse crumb is like cow milk? Thanks for that, Andy. Zanka's dick goblins will be unleashed in Walgreens. By the way, congrats to Andy for surviving COVID. You should have leprechauns coming out of your dick instead, was Jake's LOL line of the episode. The show ends with poles being inserted to dick holes. Ouch. And then the final episode 143, this is before I came on 144, was called Dicks and Food. Coincidentally, this pod dropped when I was released from jail. March 23rd was the day this podcast dropped, and I was walking right out of jail. Zanka eats an entire bag of Cool Ranch Doritos looking for the perfect chip. They talk temperature differences between their grundle and their butthole. Jake is not a fan of Cool Ranch flavored Doritos. He loves the purple spicy bag of Doritos. Zanka is done with porn because of dirty family porn. I'm not sure what site he's going on to look at this, but he said it was like a family that was a horror, incest, dirt people porn. And as of this podcast airing, Zanka has a 2-day chip from Beating Off Anonymous. Yeah, try 86 days, pal. Zanka then describes the dirty, dirt, gross shit porn. White people are the worst. He had post-nut clarity. Zanka's friend knows the tranny who hit him. Update on that story. The tranny sells phone and has green hair. Zanka banned from Twitter as well. They like the Fiend's new mask post-burn. They announced Andrade's release from WWE. They talk almost and want him to wrestle in a turtleneck, which is funny because I put Brett in the turtleneck before I even listened to this. That's funny. They are very optimistic about a Mace and T-Bar tag team, which is happening now, and they're not very over. Jake wants Goldberg to beat Mansoor and Saudi, so they'll behead Goldberg. They are disappointed about the Fiend's new gear, but they like his mask. Zanka wants Roman Reigns to drop cinder blocks on Daniel Bryan's and Edge's feeble necks at WrestleMania. Then Zanka then enters the Chop Shop, and very unique Chop Shop because it was boy band lyrics. Jake went from Pillsbury white boy to transparent 1950s sitcom dad while reading these boy band lyrics. He prestiged his whiteness. Zanka didn't get any of them. He got chopped 3 times. They speculate that James and Terry, the brothers of penetration, the UK boys from Facebook, killed each other while listening to the SRAP pod because they vanished, but really they got busy, basically, is what happened. Zanka was supposed to open for Bob Saget, but didn't because he wasn't prepared and plus the pandemic. Dixon Food will be Jake and Zanka's new podcast. On that podcast, they'll cover SmackDown. Zanka is very insensitive about Facebook Sean's grandmother dying, saying, you got another one, toughen up. Cece's Pizza was brought up. Jake says it's an awful buffet. What's funny about that is they advertise Cece's Pizza here and they advertise Papa John's, but neither of them are near me at all. So Very strange. I haven't had either, by the way. Zanka ate at a Little Caesars in the Kmart. Little Caesars gives him the shits, and me too. It's cheap and gross. Jake has never had Little Caesars. You're not missing much unless you want cheesy Italian garlic bread. It's pretty good. Michael Douglas got throat cancer eating pussy. Jake found that out on the day this pod aired from Gilbert Gottfried because everybody has a podcast. Zanka goes to pee, and when they come back, the New Kids on the Block song "Right Stuff" played. Put it in a mail commercial. Zanka's idea. A reference from Butthole Skittles from episode 125 of the SRAP that aired on August 20th, 2020. Bad Bunny hits people with guitars better than the Miz can, which is sad. Zanka doesn't know Tamina's birthday. He says it's Halloween when the devil had an offspring. The train sound for Braun Strowman is so terrible. Sorry, Zanka, it was really bad. Let me watch sweaty men in their underwear touch each other was Jake's LOL line. Jake is terrified of furries still, by the way. They say Dana has the strongest vag that probably smells like a New York sewer. And they said Mandy's vag probably smells like a rose and hope. Zanka prays to CBG for Cynic's wife's father. Zanka needed a chop to get his spirits back up. Balls and Food Boys are Jake and Zanka's Bollywood boys manager names for gender. They called Tucky and Bo Dallas to be future endeavor. That did happen among a lot other ones. John Cena's bathwater for Name Hall of Fame. Plug the Steel Rail pregame. That's right, Andy with an I Steel Rail pregame. Of course, you can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Anchor. Andy with an I hosts it. He has Sticks Adam on all the time. He had mostly all of us on his blackout version. It's really funny. It's just us talking shit, sometimes wrestling. Zanka's grandma was called Bones. That's the name of our cat that we love. That was a funny coincidence. And then he ends the episode. The last we hear of Zanka on the Steel Rail after party, he says, "Peace, love, and dead grandmas." That was the last we heard of Zanka on the Steel Rail After Party podcast. And then I came on episode 144. Freed Mangria was the name of the episode. But yeah, the Steel Rail After Party podcast. Hopefully it does come back because I mean, I really didn't want to finish every single episode and know that it was going to end. Now I'm done with it. Now it's just a waiting game. Hopefully everything's right in Jake and Zanga's life. If not, I mean, you can always see them on APPW. You can just get a little taste of them. But the podcast hopefully will return. This is the podcast that inspired this show, the Steel Rail After Party Hangover. And of course, I'm going to drop the LOL line post of every episode that I missed on my Instagram. So the people who are watching this, you'll see multiple posts by me with the LOL lines. But now let's get to a special question segment for the After Party Hangover. I've reached out to all the usual suspects and asked for questions. Just one question from each person this time. We'll start with everybody's favorite, Mr. Serendipitous himself, the brand new YouTube champion. He asks, kill one, marry one, fuck one. It's a marry, fuck, kill. Attitude Era Trish, Tay Conti, and 90s Stephanie. I would definitely marry Tay Conti. I would fuck 90s Stephanie. And I would kill Attitude Era Trish because she has so much of Vince McMahon's spunk in her. So gross. Moving on, we have Julius _ Caesar. Jake likes his salads. He asks, sort of a marry, fuck, kill, but it's his own twist of it. It's called 69 Fuck Pegged. And the three women are Maurice, Scarlett, and Tay Conti. Wow. I'll get pegged by my wife, Tay Conti. I'll 69 Scarlett, and I'll fuck Maurice because I gotta see them big old titties. Now that she got them big old mama titties. And from the brand new hashtag decent champion, it's Bastones Lone Wolf. He asked, what turned Lord Jake into the owner prick he is today? And is Zanka Rhodes the Lost Rhodes brother? Of course he's the Lost Rhodes brother. When you dye your hair blonde with peroxide, it gives you brain damage. So, and we all know the Rhodes, they got a history of not being right. But what turned Lord Jake into the owner prick he is today? Ego. That's what turned him into the prick. You give him a tiny bit of power, you give him an inch and he takes a mile, the old saying. And the latest APPW Dynamite episode is already on my YouTube page. Go ahead and check it out. Where a perfect example of Lord Jake's abuse of power is on display. Brittany Bomber, who's the first female wrestler you remember seeing for the first time? Actually, it was the incredibly unattractive, even to this day, Alundra Blaze. Of course, she was the WWF Women's Champion back in the day. Wasn't too impressed. Of course, back in that day, they didn't really take women's wrestling that serious anyway. Alundra Blaze. And then the disrespect she showed to the title on Nitro. Not a fan. Not a fan. The Great Bretsky 99 asked, if you could change one thing about the SRAP podcast, what would it be, and why would it be Jake? That's a good point, Bretsky. But change one thing about the SRAP podcast. I would have it more often, really. If and when it comes back, I would want because everybody really has a problem, especially Ceizar, with it not reviewing SmackDown. And SmackDown, especially with our tribal chief Roman Reigns, is must watch, must see TV. I'd want them to do two shows. I want them to review Raw and SmackDown. Even if the SmackDown show is just reviewing SmackDown, I'd want to hear more of their takes on that, because on the After Party Hangover Tripod Sessions, we review NXT or NXT and AEW. I would like to hear them review Raw and SmackDown. That's the one thing I would change about that. And for Zank Chris, other Zanka, who got you to watch wrestling? Actually, my cousins. My cousins had it on at my grandma's house in the living room, and I just walked in because I was bored. Started watching it. That's back in the day where, Hogan, $1 Million Man, Macho Man, all them were on there. It was Superstars on a Saturday. I just watch it, and I just got hooked. It was entertaining. Dudes beating the shit out of each other. It was pretty cool. What was your first wrestling memory? Like I said, just wrestling Superstars, just Brutus Beefcake and Ultimate Warrior fighting on a Superstars. Of course, they only fought enhancement talent back then. He says, for me, it was my uncle and WrestleMania 3. But of course, you can check out my original interview with Zank Chris on the After Party Hangover on my YouTube page. Just scroll all the way down. You'll see the original interview I did with Zank Chris. And we have a question here from, it's Jake Travers asked the question. I've got two questions then. What's your all-time favorite SRAP moment? And why is it me winning 2-time host of the year live? And what's your favorite all-time SRAP character or voice that we've done? Okay, my All-time favorite SRAP moment gotta be Def Lars. I mean, it's iconic. It's incredibly funny. I mean, there's just moments in the SRAP podcast that inspired me to do this spin-off podcast, amongst other things. And I believe that the creation of Def Lars, it's just proof why this podcast is great. Jake and Zanka have a dynamic. They bounce off of each other. Zanka with his randomness, Jake with his self-deprecation, but he does contribute. The creation of Def Bob Lars was incredible. And yeah, that's my favorite all-time SRAP character as well. So thank you, Jake Travers, for that question. And now, from our old girl, Sweet Nikki Numbers, friend of the podcast, what are your thoughts on Eva Marie coming back? You know, Eva Marie can't wrestle for shit. But you always need that chicken shit heel that everybody loves to hate. And I mean, her previous run, she would have an announcer announce her come out to the ring, and then she'd find some fuck shit to not be able to wrestle, like her fucking brawl coming undone or whatever. She's an excellent heel. Maybe not by choice. Maybe she's actually trying to wrestle and put an effort into it. And her current run as a chicken shit heel using Dewdrop, who's Piper Niven, by the way, who's an incredible wrestler. Her current run, I don't know, they're mixing a brand new gimmick with a gimmick that's not really working with Alexa Bliss. I think ever since people found out that Fiend was released and he's not coming back, I don't know. I don't think they should do the Alexa Bliss gimmick anymore. I think she should somehow snap out of it or get cured. Maybe see the therapist that cured Daniel Bryan and Kane. I don't know. This gimmick, I don't see it working out. I don't think Lily is catching on. And if it is catching on, it's with little kids who are going to grow out of it or snap out of it immediately. And Eva Marie with Dewdrop, it's funny. It's someone taking credit for Dewdrop's wins. Eva Marie is all looks, no wrestling talent whatsoever. I don't think this is going to be a gimmick that lasts a long time. I believe, not to be disrespectful, but I think that Eva Marie gimmick and segments possibly just could be filler, really. I mean, Eva Marie, of course, is just there for a paycheck. She doesn't give a shit about wrestling or winning titles. She just wants exposure again. And her abusive boyfriend is probably pushing her like, oh, well, they're do that, so we need more money. Eva Marie can't wrestle for shit. She's all looks, like I said. I cannot see this lasting another 4 or 5 months. And if it does, Dewdrop is going to turn on her. And Eva Marie is either going to have to find someone else to help her, or she's just going to get lost in the shuffle. I don't know. I think it's a waste of time. Let's move on to a person named Still Real to Us asks, you got to take a shot out of Lars Sullivan's foreskin. What booze are you choosing? Well, if I'm going to do something incredibly degrading and humiliating, I want to enjoy it a little bit. So my name is Mangria Fueled. Hence, I'll take a shot of Mangria out of that foreskin because I'm going to be humiliated anyway. So might as well kind of enjoy it a tiny bit. A tiny bit. Savage Alpha Foxtrot. Choose how you die. Dick down by Ric Flair and getting all his STDs at once. Ripped in half by Khali, or turned into a pop and put on display in Jake's room. That's a Black Mirror situation, kind of. Do you really die, by the way? I guess of starvation, possibly. So it's pretty much 2 instances of dying slowly and 1 dying instantly. So I'll pick Kali ripping me in half, so it'll be over like that. Because the STDs, I gotta imagine, will be painful. And yeah, being put on display in Jake's trophy case is degrading, and you'll die very slowly. I don't know how Bretsky escaped, but he did. Sticks Adam. When SummerSlam comes around, what's a SummerSlam moment you remember, and what's your thoughts on bringing in food while slapping cheeks? And have you? And what food would you bring in? Well, I've never brought food in sexually. I think that's weird. I'm fat enough. I don't need to get fatter while I'm fucking. So I'll answer the first one, the SummerSlam moment. I believe I've answered this before. SummerSlam, my favorite SummerSlam was when Bret Hart took on Mr. Perfect back in the day, of course. Uh, um, Bret Hart kicked out of the Perfect Plex. As a young man, brand new to wrestling, seeing people's finishers and nobody ever kicked me out of finishers. When I saw Bret Hart kick out of the Perfect Plex, that blew my fucking mind. So that has got to be my favorite SummerSlam moment of all time. Bret Hart kicking out of the Perfect Plex. Let's see if I have any more here. I think that might be all of the questions. I don't want to disrespect anybody here. Double checking. Okay. That is all the questions. Oh, but hang on. We have a very fresh, very brand new Can't Read Rainbow by Mr. Storytime himself. That's right. It's Facebook Sean. Holy flippers in the flapjack farting fat fudge Phillip with floating famished forest creatures. Can't Read Railroad is back. Man, it has been a long time. It made me think about the times when I would do this and stuff. Then I thought about the things I used to do before I did this. I would do things that were pretty all right. Not sure if it was fun. Actually, I didn't do much. I was alone a lot. Dramatic pause for effect. But that's okay, because I have a loaded, lip smacking, howdy doody question for you guys. So, at the request from Mr. Commish himself, Mangria Fuel, I present to you a story. Hold on one second, because as everybody knows, I'll choke to death if I don't drink something. And we all know Facebook Sean's stories are epic, so I want to do it justice. Well, there was this one time, right, where I was in the UK. I landed at the airport, not sure which one, had planes there. Once I got in the hallway, I walked to the cockpit, then immediately left towards the door. I wanted to go sit in the cockpit just because of the name, but there were too many people around, and I didn't want them to laugh at me. I walk up that hallway and through that door. I get into the big room, and I take a straight path towards the sign that says bus. I walked down the massive hallway, took a left at the end, and then a right. I could see buses outside, but they were not close enough. I walked to the door and went outside. I walk up to the guy at the stand and said, "Hello, old chap, I need a bus ticket." He said, "I haven't had a conversation in 2 years." Whoa, okay, buddy, never mind. So I get on the bus, and even better, it was a single-decker bus. I heard London was famous for these. So we go down this street and take a right, then a right, then a left, and another right. Eventually, we get to my hotel. It was the best one in the entire Eastern Hemisphere. It was named Big Bun's Dump Bag Hotel and Emporium. Don't knock it till you try it. I go in there. There's a guy who's big, looked like the owner. I walk up and ask, "Hey man, are you Ben?" "Nope," he said. "Never heard of him." "Oh, okay. Well then, I would like to check into my room." I get the key and go upstairs. I walk down a hallway until I see the room number. It was really weird to have this numbering system. All the numbers were random and really high. I had the room 8,675,309. Like, really? I get there and open the door. There's a twin size bed in a race car bed frame. Of course, it was not from Cars, it was from Blippy. Then the TV looked like the last time it was used was when Johnny Carson was still on TV. All of the lamps had black lights in them, and there was a flashlight on the dresser. It was hot, so I turned on the air conditioner. I got blasted in the face with dust. "This place is awesome!" I exclaimed. "Never been to a place this nice." I take my suitcase and put it on the wheel of the bed. I opened it and take out my prized possession. It's my toy infinity gauntlet that I stole from my wife. It was beautiful. I decided to go for a walk with it and show it off. I go outside and immediately everyone was looking at me. I mean, everyone: girls, boys, men, women, dogs, cats, seals, penguins, you name it. They were looking. I walked by this place called the Small Room Gym, and there is an alleyway on the other side. As I was walking past it, I was not expecting it, but two guys pulled me into the alleyway and tied me up. I'm shoved into a van, then we drove a bit. Then we pull into this big building. "Is this the guy?" says one of the guys. "Yeah, that's him," said somebody else. They take me through a maze of stuff. We get to a door that said gorilla on it. We go through the curtain and they untie me. In front of me sat this guy. He was a little heavy set, and kind of looked like Ronald McDonald's friend, Grimace. He had a headset on and was watching a screen. He looked over at me and said, "Do you know who I am?" I said, "No." "Do you want to?" "Not sure. Why should I?" "Well, if you must know, my name is Mangria. My friends call me Mangria. Pleased to have you standing here." "Do you know what I want?" "Not really," I answered. He points to my right hand and says, "That." "No, no, 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 you can't have this. It's my prized possession. My wife would kill me." "Well, what if I killed her?" And he showed me a live feed of my wife tied up in a McDonald's play place. "What? No!" I walked towards him, but his guards pushed me back. "Let's make a deal," I said. "You win, and I let you leave with everything. You lose, and I kill your wife and take that infinity gauntlet," he said. "Win what?" All of a sudden, a guy walks through another curtain. This guy was 7 foot tall and was shredded from head to toe. He says, "Damn, this guy is nuts. He is undefeated. He looks goofy, but I can't keep up. He needs to be champ someday, boss." Whew. "What were you doing?" I asked. "Wrestling. Whatever you do, don't go in there." I looked at Mangria and said, Who's the guy?" Just then, music started playing. It was some type of metal artist. The lyrics were funny and the music was banging. I go through the curtain and out into a large room. It was an arena. There were about 1,000 people in there. I'm so mad that I was part of this. I started punching and kicking on the way down there. Somebody taunted me and I stepped to him like I was going to hit him. I get in the ring and yell. Then I waited. Music started playing, and after a few seconds, a guy came walking down the ramp towards the ring. They said he was 286 pounds and 5'11 from the northeast of the US. His name, wait for it, was Lord Jake. He was in a funny getup. He wore a Hawaiian-looking shirt, sunglasses, and a stupid-looking hat. He walked with purpose. We stood in opposite corners, then we locked horns. The match was going in his favor until all of a sudden I was frozen in midair. I couldn't move. I didn't know what to do. I must have fainted because all of a sudden we were standing on opposite sides of the ring again. We locked up and took off. It went back and forth for a while. I was impressed, but I knew I could win. He hit me with an elbow. I hit him with a clothesline. He tripped me and I busted my face. I threw him out of the ring eventually. We started getting tired and serious. Lord Jake picked me up and slammed me into the middle of the ring. He walked over to the corner and stood on top of it. He jumped off to hit a bullfrog splash. Pin. 1, 2.5. He picks me up and I throw him to the ref and onto the apron. He gets back in and hits me with the Michael driver down. 1, 2, 3. I go back to the back and see Mangria. Well, you couldn't live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Please don't do this, I pleaded. A deal is a deal. But I am a new man since my stint inside. I will make you a deal. Give me the gauntlet and I will spare your wife. I looked down at the gauntlet and I thought of all the good times. I thought of all the bad times. I looked up at him and said, fine. I slipped off the gauntlet, peered at it one last time, and I handed it to him. Yes, finally, it's mine. He pushes the button, but the lights don't light up. He tries again, but still no lights. Then he looks at me. Looking for these? I asked as I waved in front of him the batteries. Yeah, give them to me. They're what makes the gauntlet work, he begged. Nah, it took me several years to collect those batteries. Now it's your turn. And I walked away into the abyss. Oh, there you have it. When you least expect it, you get thrown into a stupid match with a stupid dude wearing a stupid glasses in a stupid arena. Actually, I like the arena. Not too shabby, though. All of this, I learned something. And that is that a narwhal's tusk reveals its past living conditions. Remember that? That was a great that was a great story. Over here dying. Hold on 1 second. Hashtag Hall of Fame, life for life. Hashtag Hall of Famer, then, now, forever. Hashtag Keith Lee Royce. Hashtag Please Talk. Hashtag Dad Jokes Forever. Hashtag Hillbilly Freight Train. Hashtag Zanka's Amused Butthole. Ooh. Hashtag Zanka's Amused Butthole sound effect. Ooh. Hashtag Jake's Conflicted Gayness. Hashtag Goo Javelin. Hashtag Flesh Faucet. Hashtag Waffle Jaloppo. Hashtag Opportunity. Hashtag Decent Pod. Hashtag Mayonnaise Man Purse. Hashtag Child Cheese. Hashtag Tub Life. Hashtag Drove. Dr. Tubonomics is what it's supposed to say. Hashtag Zanka for Sheriff 2054. Hashtag Zanka for Sheriff then, now, forever. Hashtag Quarantine Life. Hashtag I work for my father. Hashtag Not Mad, just disappointed. Hashtag Put your meat on my meat. Thank you again, Facebook, Sean. I really appreciate that. And now, folks, it's time for the after party hangover Inexity review. Give me a second to change the background here really quick. Bam. All right. Of course, NXT, the A show of the week, starts off with the Diamond Mining ring, minus Rust. Bivens on the mic talking trash about Kushida. Kushida is not medically cleared. Open challenge is issued. Dragon Zord answers. We get Roddy versus Dragunov. Some annoying guy in the crowd failed to get a Walter chant started. He kept screaming Walter. Both men with the chop fest. Dragunov did a spinning, kneeling chop. It looked like he choppy Roddy's pee-pee. Incredibly physical match, fighting on the outside. Gangnam Style distracts Dragunov, making Dragunov taste steel steps thanks to Roddy. Commercial picture-in-picture, Roddy working over Dragunov. These guys are doing a great job selling it. Looks like they are legit hitting each other. Roddy starts attacking Dragunov's leg. Dragunov hit 2 Germans in a row. On the second, he busted himself open on Roddy's back. It was fucking gushing blood. I think it was from the Germans. I'm not sure. Dragunov does end up winning with a torpedo-like running headbutt. They called it something funny. Dragunov calls out Walter afterwards. And then they smash cut to Samoa Joe arriving to the arena. After this, we get an Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly video package. Of course, it's the undisputed finale. That's going to be an incredible fucking Sunday takeover. Hit Row, or the not Edge and Christians, out angry at Brown Order. Santos interrupts in the Tron. He wants to give him back his grill, but solo, one-on-one. Swerve meets Santos on the outside of the arena. He gets jumped by the Brown Order, of course. Hit Row assists Be Fine Fab with the steel pipe. Buenos noches. Swerve gets grilled back. A Brown Order needs a Juanita green card in their corner. They don't have a woman. LA and Grimes to the gym. LA pays Josh Briggs to beat up Grimes in an exclusive WWE YouTube clip. The match gets set up. Walter and Imperium backstage promo. Then we get the $1 Million Man joining the commentary for Cameron Grimes with LA Knight versus Josh Briggs, who did not have an entrance. LA on commentary as well. LA, $1 Million Man, placed a $20,000 bet on the match. There was nothing special about this match. Grimes wins. LA punches the $1 Million Man and lays out Grimes. A lot of audio was cut out. I don't know if there's like a lot of cussing or whatever. It probably was. Who knows? Then we get Johnny, Candice, and Indy backstage. Indy smitten with that god dark. Johnny suggests the only true test is if you wrestle good together. Indy agrees. Dexter appears. How'd you like that kick last week? Johnny says. He loved it. He even had room for pie, Indy says. Johnny responds with, I looked at that menu. Front and back. I didn't see no pie. Very funny. Of course, the way segments are always gold. Zoe and Io are interviewed. The friendship's still not working. No one cares. Frankie Monet, Jesse Kamea, and Robert Stone mixed tag action. It's Index versus Robert Stone and Jesse Kamea. Indy is also doing the God of Goats Slither in the ring. Indy is looking to Beth for advice. Beth tells her to breathe. Happy birthday chants for Indy. Robert Stone dressed in tribute to Steven Seagal, apparently. Stereo mudhole stomping from Indy and Dexter. Frankie grabbed Dexter's foot and hung onto it as Dexter dragged her into the ring. The ref ejects her. There is no commercial picture-in-picture. Sorry, there's fire smoke over here. This is a bunch of fucking fires in the mountains, and that air is just seeping in here. It's not making it great for me. Jesse Kamea attacks Dexter twice. Robert Stone undershot his dive to the outside. Indy wins with the silence lock. Indy and Dexter slither to each other. Indy then talks to Beth, goes back into the ring. What was that? Oi, Wade says. Zip it, Barrett, Beth says. Indy proposes to Dexter with weird eyeball ring. He says yes. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, folks. I mean, California is constantly on fire, and unfortunately, I live in the armpit of California, so all that fucking smoke seeps into here. This makes me cough constantly. But anyway, I digress. Cross arrives at the arena. The Diamond Mine is interviewed. Dragunov is a heavyweight, not a cruiserweight, of course, making excuses. So it doesn't matter. Next time, talk to me, Bivens screams at Kenzie. Beth, weird split screen interview with Straight Sonya and Wallbutt. Kai with pink hair now. Straight Sonya is Super Estreu, superstar. Chase says she's going to win. Oh, Kai says she's going to win. Straight Sonya says Kai uses people and is jealous. Calls Kai a sidekick, which of course stings to Wallbutt. Up next, NXT release tournament continues. Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson. Wade is in love, by the way, with Duke Hudson. Duke's finisher is called the Winds of Change, not the Bossman Slam. Wade taught him that. Duke lifted Carmelo as if to do a belly to back suplex, then proceeds to throw him out of the ring. Rough landing for Carmelo. As they head in the break, no commercial, picture-in-picture. Carmelo nails an excellent scissors kick as Duke enters the ring. Carmelo hit a very dangerous-looking apron DDT to Duke. Shocked the match went on after that because I don't know if you've seen it. Whoever's listening to this, when Carmelo hit that apron DDT, it looked like Duke's like half his face landed on the corner. I'm shocked he wasn't knocked out, but Carmelo wins with a diving leg drop. It's basically a famouser from the top rope to a bent over Duke. Carmelo interviewed on the ramp, tells Odyssey that he is the final boss in the video game. Odyssey then interrupts, looking like a Costco-sized Pepto bottle in his pink shirt. JC Jane vignette, and MSK is ready for their match. Grimes is in the doctor's office icing up. $1 Million Man apologizes to him. Grimes is triggered, says after takeover they'll both be $1 Million champions going to the moon. $1 Million Man laughs. That's my Cameron. The tag title matchup: MSK versus Imperium, High Flying versus Smash Mouth Style. It's basically what we expected. Commercial picture-in-picture. Imperium dominates. Eichner fucked up Wesley with a massive lariat, folding his ass in half. Marcel with the ankle lock to Wesley. He getting taken to the woodshed. Walter out. Distracts the ref. Dragunov attacks Walter. Spinebuster, Blockbuster combo. MSK retain their titles. MSK try to attack Walter, but get murdered, of course. Walter chops the white off of Dragunov's chest. Sleeper applied as well. Imperium stands tall. Dunn and Britt Lesnar backstage promo. Then we get a Ridge versus Thatcher next week announcement again. Joe comes out on mic, wants to hurt Cross. Cross out on mic. Where is Scarlet chants from the crowd. Cross gets security out for Joe's protection. Cross gets in ring. Joe attacks him, beats the fuck out of him. They put each other through barricades. It didn't go over quite as smoothly as they hoped, but we got the message.
And now, Hail Ceizar.
What up? Welcome back to another episode of Hail Ceizar. And this time, Mangria has asked me who I think is going to win NXT this Sunday, finally, in the prominent spot on Sunday. And here we go. We're going to break it down one time for your mind. I got Straight Sonya beating Dakota Kai for that woman's title. Yeah, Straight Sonya going to continue her reign. Dakota Kai could get called up. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Also, I got Kyle O'Reilly beating Adam Cole. So maybe Adam Cole's swan song, guys. Hopefully he stays and maybe goes up to SmackDown or something, but He might go join his wife in ATW, and that's going to be a sad, sad, sad day. 3. I got Dragunov beating Walter. Yeah, that's right. This match is going to fucking burn the house down. Yeah, these fucks are going to go at it, all kinds of fuckery. This should be the main event. Honestly, dead ass. This should be the main event. It'll probably be something else, but this should be the main event. Possible beer cheese of the night. Just saying. All right. Dragunov. Caveat is that Imperium will interfere sometime in the match. Match number 4. I got Joe. Yeah, it's time for Kane to get his dead ass up on out of here. He's already losing to Jeff Hardy on Raw and losing to Keith Lee. So he can take his ass and lose to Joe, lose the title, and then Joe can be the champ and go on and kill this shit. And finally, Cameron Grimes will beat LA Knight in the $1 Million Championship match. I don't see this going any other way. Hopefully this leads back to a Grimes heel run. Him and LA Knight, they're great together. Hopefully this leads to a rubber match or something. I think the rubber match was the fucking... No, they just have a match. Anyway, maybe this leads to another rubber match with them. They can fuck around and do some fuckery with this shit. Maybe Ted betrays them and I pick wrong. Maybe it's still LA Knight's game. Yeah! But I'm definitely picking Cameron Grimes to win this one. $1 Million Man is not going to be anybody's butler. So there it is. There's my predictions. You heard it here first with your boy JC's. Watch along Sunday. Not going to be able to hit this hangover today, as you see with the video here. But I'm back next week, slapping bitches with truth about wrestling. And you know what it is. Holla at
What the fuck is up, everyone? The Great Brightskin 99 here, your friend, one of the 3 legs of the After Party Hangover Tripod Sessions, of course, just last week, celebrating the 2-year anniversary of this phenomenal podcast, After Party Hangover. We, of course, Ceizar and I both not here this week. I don't know if this has been revealed yet or not, but if it hasn't, surprise. Mangria is me doing a little retrospective from what I understand, so enjoy that. Little fun times with Mangria riding solo. I, unfortunately, will not be here next week or the week after that, so the 28th and the 4th, whatever those come out. I guess we'll kind of play it by ear after that, but for now, I did want to give my predictions for NXT TakeOver number 36, and what a card it is. First off, we have LA Knight, versus Cameron Grimes. Fine Cameron Grimes with the $1 Million Championship on the line. Of course, if Grimes loses, then $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase has to become a butler as well. What a match this is going to be. This feud has been so good. Keep these guys together all the time, but I do think that with the inclusion of DiBiase, as fun as it would be to see Ted DiBiase as fucking butler, that would be hilarious. I do think that Grimes needs to win because Grimes has already lost twice. He has all the momentum on his side now. They've truly bolted him up as the true face of this feud. So I think it only makes sense for Cameron Grimes to win. So therefore, my pick for this match is Cameron Grimes is your new $1 Million Champion. Up next, we have probably going to be the match of forever. I mean, I didn't think that someone could top Cole versus O'Reilly 1, the unsanctioned match, but if anything can do it, it's going to be this match. It's going to be Ilya Dragunov versus Walter for the NXT UK Championship, and my God, if it's anything like the first one, dear Lord, I am thinking that Ilya Dragunov has to win this. I mean, Walter has had a phenomenal fucking run. I don't know what his plans are. I don't know what his whole thing is going to be with going from the UK to the United States. If he wants to do that, I don't know. But I think that it is time for Dragunov. It only seems right just the way he's been built. I don't know. Ceizar always says, watch NXT UK. I always do when I get a chance. He's been built so wonderfully from the time he got to that first title match to then after he lost and how to deal with the loss and all that stuff. It's a wonderful build-up in his character, wonderful build-up in everything. It's Dragunov's time. Your new UK champion is Ilya Dragunov. That is my second pick of the night. Number 3. Speaking of Cole and O'Reilly, it's the third one. And not only is it the third one, it is 2 out of 3 falls, the undisputed finale. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, baby. And boy, oh boy, this should be good. This should be good. This is a tough one. This is a real tough one to pick, the real tough one to predict, because Cole won the last one, the straight up wrestling match. Oh, hi, Mark Sterling. Mark Sterling's on my screen watching Rampage right now. Holy shit, CM Punk gave me fucking chills. That's awesome. But anyway, yeah, so Cole won the last one, the straight up wrestling. O'Reilly won the unsanctioned match, so you have to imagine they're each going to win their respective stipulations for the 2 out of 3 falls. Then you get the steel cage at the end. I don't know who's going to win that. I think it all depends on Cole's, contract status. I'd imagine, actually, I'm thinking, now I'm talking about it, I'm thinking a little more. I'm thinking I've got to go with Kyle O'Reilly, because if Cole's leaving, then he's leaving. Why would he win? And if he's not leaving, I believe the plan was they were trying to get him to go to SmackDown or Raw, so why not just have him lose on his way out? Makes everything better. So I'm going Kyle O'Reilly to take in 3 falls. He will take the 2 out of 3 falls match against Adam Cole, baby. And now with one of the most anticipated matches in a long time in the women's division, in any women's division. It is, Captain, my Captain, Dakota Kai versus the NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez, for the women's title. And boy, this is going to be a good fucking match. I am so excited for this match. This is going to be great. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can already imagine. But it's a very tough one to call. This may be... Well, this is a lot of tough calls on this card, but I'm going to say Raquel. I'm going to say they're going to keep this feud going and Dakota will win it sometime down the line. But I'm going to say Raquel retains for now, but maybe barely. Maybe Dakota wins and there's a ref knocked out or something like that. Or Raquel gets the foot on the rope at the last second, something like that. But I think Raquel will win, but find a way to continue the feud down the line. And finally, in the main event of the evening, we have not Killer Cross anymore. It's Karrion now. Because he's carrying the NXT men's division. Just kidding, he's not, because he lost to Jeff Hardy via roll-up. That sucked, remember that? That was horrible. But if you forget about that, it's Karrion Kross, the unbeatable Karrion Kross, unless you go to Monday Night Raw and you're facing someone named Jeff Hardy or Keith Lee, versus the returning Samoa Joe, which I am fucking hyped for. This is going to be such a good match. This will be Kross's best match, bar none, maybe ever. This will be so fucking good. This is going to be great. I'm so excited. This is just going to be fun wrestling to watch. I gotta go Joe. I gotta go Joe, because, Kross has got to be going off to Raw now, right? Like, he's got to be. So I'm going Samoa Joe. I'm going Samoan Joseph. Samoa Joe is going to win and become the first ever three-time NXT champion. This is going to be a great show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tune in. But before you tune in to that show, before you tune into SummerSlam, make sure you stay tuned for the rest of this wonderful retrospective on the After Party Hangover Tripod Sessions. Of course, I don't know if we're doing this or not. I don't know if we're doing the fucking stipulation, whatever it is, the random thing that we think is going to happen. Oh, Jade Cargill saying that she's that bitch on TV now. Cool. Oh, man. So my one thing to happen, my caveat, if you will, my one thing that will happen, I'm going to say there is a backstage interaction between Roddy Strong and Kushida. I know Kushida was medically disqualified to compete last week on NXT, but I'm thinking there's going to be some kind of interaction, like physical altercation, verbal altercation, some kind of altercation between Roddy Strong and Kushida. But before we get to there, like I said, have fun, stay tuned for this wonderful episode of the After Party Hangover Tripod. Well, not even the Tripod, After Party Hangover, classic Hangover episode. You'll be missing me, I'll be missing you for the next couple of weeks, but don't worry, I'll be back, to quote the Terminator. But yeah, that sounds fun.
And now it's on to the NXT TakeOver 36 predictions. Of course, you already saw Bretsky and Ceizar's predictions earlier. I have not seen or heard either of them. I don't know their reasoning. These are my predictions. I wrote them as soon as NXT went off the air on Tuesday. NXT TakeOver 36. In no particular order, of course. It's first, if Grimes loses, $1 Million Man is LA's Butler. It's Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight for the $1 Million Championship and Butler stipulation. I said Grimes. I believe Grimes will win because, he's lost a couple times already. Like, why would they want $1 Million Man to be out there and be LA Knight's Butler? I could see it happening. Hold on. I could see LA Knight winning and $1 Million Man becoming the butler, but I don't know. It's more than likely that they don't want Ted DiBiase to be like, they wouldn't bring him in to be humiliated like that. So I believe Grimes will win the $1 Million Championship. I'm not too sure where they go from there. I don't know if there's a rematch in the future or whatever, but I've said for weeks that $1 Million Man could be the manager of a Grimes LA Knight tag team because it's so similar and the promos would be incredible. But I don't know. As for this match, I said Cameron Grimes will win. Next match, NXT UK Championship match, Walter versus Dragunov. The first match was phenomenal. Of course, it made news all over the wrestling world. Walter retains. I could see Dragunov winning this. I picked Dragunov to win this because they're putting so much focus on Dragunov lately, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H made such a big deal of the first match. They even put out like Instagram videos of them watching the first match. And I don't know, Walter's had the title for 40 years. I think they want a new NXT UK champion because Walter probably prefers to be in the actual UK than the States for shit like this. And plus, like I said, there's so much praise on Dragunov. I could see Dragunov taking it on this takeover on Sunday. Up next, NXT Women's Champion Straight Sonya versus Wallbutt herself, Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai, I mean, unless she gets a new heavy, there's no fucking way she's winning. I mean, Straight Sonya is on such a roll. I think they want her to have a long title reign because I don't see her getting called up anytime soon. So my personal opinion is Straight Sonya wins. Maybe Dakota Kai cheats like during the match and almost wins. We got a couple near false finishes. Straight Sonya is of course retaining. There's no way that Kai is winning this. I think that Frankie Monet will be the next NXT Women's Champion. I digress, but it'll be a good match. But Straight Sonya will come out on top on this. The 2 out of 3 falls undisputed finale match, of course, is going to come down to the final fall. They wouldn't just bring the steel cage out there for nothing. It's going to be O'Reilly. I believe O'Reilly will take this because Adam Cole has got to move up to the main roster because he's done everything he can do in NXT. North American champion, NXT champion. He doesn't really need the tag team championship. I think he held it once. I don't know. He substituted for O'Reilly or Fish. I don't know. Anyway, unless he wants to be trans and go for the NXT Women's title, Cole has done everything. He's had meetings with Vince McMahon. I read on the dirt sheets. I believe O'Reilly will win. I think Cole is doing O'Reilly a favor to elevate him more. I think the crowd will be pro Cole the whole way. But I see O'Reilly taking this. And then the main event, it's Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe. And we've seen over the past few weeks that Karrion Kross has been on the main roster. He's been on Monday Night Raw. He famously lost to Jeff Hardy, but he's won a few matches already. He also lost to Keith Lee. Keith slowly. But yeah, he's already main roster bound. I think this is just gonna be Joe taking him out. I don't know if Scarlett's gonna show up, but why would they want Cross to remain to be NXT champion and then still compete on Monday Night Raw? It doesn't really make sense. Like, what is he gonna hold the NXT championship the entire time he's on Raw? No. I think this is a special occasion. Joe is finally back as an active competitor. Joe will be the first 3-time NXT champion, and they're going to move on from there. Cross will stay on the main roster. Joe will challenge someone else. That's got to be it. That's got to be what their plan is. Otherwise, why bring Samoa Joe back onto the active roster? And Karrion Kross is going to go on to lose to other people on the Raw roster. But I think Samoa Joe will reclaim his throne in NXT. He probably prefers to be on NXT, which I understand. But those are my predictions for NXT Takeover 36. Like I said, I have not listened to the other guys' predictions. Our votes, our fucking votes don't matter anyway. We're not betting on money here. So those are my predictions. I will add these predictions in during the episode. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for this retrospective of the SRAP podcast. That's right. I'm in a different room tonight. I'm trying not to be in the hottest room in the entire house for this. Hope you enjoyed the retrospective of the SRAP. The Steel Raw After Party is the podcast that spawned the After Party Hangover. We all are huge fans. Everyone who listens to this, everyone who listens to SRAP, hope that the podcast returns. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Enjoy SummerSlam weekend. SummerSlam's going to be probably, today. This episode will be uploaded Saturday. Enjoy SummerSlam tonight. Enjoy NXT TakeOver tomorrow night. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I know Bretsky is a Jew. And I know fuck Cynic. But let us all hail Alinda's Bush and Jesus Christ.